Rise and shine, guys. It is not even 10 o'clock yet. I have not had coffee. I am, speaking of not even having coffee, I haven't even put my brows on, which is usually not me leaving out. I don't have any form of my brows on. I don't have my going to the store brows. I don't have my mom brows. I don't obviously have my glam brows on. But what I do have on is my game face to try and go to Ulta and navigate the PS5. I'm sorry, did I say PS5? The KVD traffic. I want one of those damn good Apple foundation balms. I want to see what all the ruckus is about. Yes, I say ruckus. Yes, I'm old. Yes, it's early. I specified that already. But I want to see what the hoopla is all about. I have a ton of foundations already, but I don't have this one. And I did a search online and it showed that they were out of my shade pretty much everywhere, both at Sephora and at Ulta on the app. But when I clicked on my shade, it said it was available in store in my area. I just couldn't do an in-store pickup. So either that means it pays to live in a particular type of suburb where my shade would still be available, or Ulta's app is totally wrong. So either way, we are about to see. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Letitia and this is That's So Letitia. And if you caught the first 2 minutes of this video, then you would know that I was in fact able to secure my very own KVD's foundation balm in my shade. Hopefully my shade, fingers crossed. I am new to foundation balms. I typically stick with the traditional, or at least the one that is more widely available, more widely promoted, such as the liquid, the stick, and sometimes I'll even use the compact. But I've never used a quote-unquote foundation balm before. Hearing people, ranting and raving about it on Twitter, I go to Sephora, I go to Ulta, both of the websites. I even went to the KVD Vegan Beauty website. Sold out. Like, when I say sold out, sold out. I live in a predominantly not nowhere near urban suburb, and my suburb is full of Ultas. There's like strip malls everywhere, so they're full of Ultas. I was actually able to go onto the Ulta app and I scrolled over, and sure enough, I looked for my shade and it had that it was sold out. So I clicked on my shade, and this is a tip for you guys. I clicked on my shade, and when I clicked on my shade, even though it said it was sold out, it was like crossed out, I clicked on the shade and it showed all of the stores that are in my area. And my shade was actually in stock in the stores, but I was not able to secure it on the website for like in-store pickup. So if this is really one of those items that you really, really want, I would suggest doing something like that and kind of bypassing, the shaded out button, still clicking on it and seeing if it's in your local store to where you can at least walk in and pick it up. This is it. This is the KVD Vegan Beauty Good Apple. I keep wanting to say what the acronym was when this brand first came out. It is the KVD Vegan Beauty Good Apple Foundation Balm. It comes in 40 shades. It is, let's see, you get 0.35 ounces for a cost of $38 US. Now, I've heard some people say that, you know, that amount is way too much because they're pretty much basing it on the traditional foundation amount, which is 1 fluid ounce. However, this one states that it is so full coverage and buildable that you really don't need that much product. And in essence, if you compare this one to the Kevin Aucoin's, which is literally the same amount, you get 0.35 ounces in his foundation balm, $38 for the KVD as opposed to his, which I believe, let me look at my notes, his is $52, and his has a shade range of 20 different shades as opposed to this one, which gives you 40 shades. So it's somewhat comparable in terms of the amount, in terms of that more, I guess you could say, higher price point, but we are going to see how well it does for combination skin. Now, on the website, it states that this one is for dry skin. However, there's a disclaimer that says even oily people or oily skin, you know, people can use it. It states that it gives you a natural matte kind of silky finish to it. And the reason that they state it's for dry skin is because it has apple extract in it, which nourishes the skin, as well as hyaluronic acid, which helps to hydrate the skin. But what we are going to see is just how long does this product last. I've never met an apple I didn't enjoy, so I'm not afraid of using any products with apple extract. And who does not want their skin to be more plump and more supple using hyaluronic acid? So I'm not afraid of that as well. So let's get into, so before I begin, I'm going to use Huda Beauty's, this is their pre-makeup Complexion Perfection Primer. And as always, just the 2 pumps. I was pleasantly surprised when I was able to actually find my shade, because I just knew that it was going to be just completely sold out, period. Like no loopholes or anything like that. I even on Twitter, I said that it seemed like this was about to be the PS5 of makeup, because it was sold out everywhere. Again, even the actual website itself was like, no, we're done. We have no more in stock. And using Beauty Bakerie's flour powder, I am going to just kind of help absorb any sort of possible oil breakthrough that would come from wearing this product, since it specifies that it's for dry skin and I have nothing dry other than my lips. So let's see how this goes. And this powder, by the way, is in the shade Almond/Chestnut. Okay, so here we go, guys. Here it is. And this one is actually in the shade Tan 074. So this is what it looks like. It looks like a a balm, a solid. That little fingerprint there is from when I actually purchased it. I wanted to make sure it was my shade, so when I got back in the car, I just kind of whisked it and put it on my hand, and it actually melted into my hand. Melted meaning I couldn't find any residue of it anywhere. So that's a plus. I'm going to attempt to apply it using my regular foundation brush. Okay, looks pretty thick, even on the brush. I would definitely say this is full coverage because I barely put any on the brush, and I mean it's covered my nose. Yeah, this is full coverage. And the fact that I barely went into the pan and I got this much coverage for this side of my face, that's impressive. Okay, so I'm gonna do the rest of my face. So there's that. Yeah, I mean, even, wow. I mean, it's interesting that they say it gives you a natural finish, and I can barely see my pores. So I'm not necessarily sure what natural looking skin has, you know, really no pores. And I mean, I guess this would be like great for someone who has very large pores, and you know, after their skincare and their pore closing primer, you know, they still want a little bit of reinforcement, you know, to give off the appearance that their pores are, you know, much smaller or more minimized. Then something like this would be good for that. But yeah, I don't see them. So I think we might have a hit here, at least in terms of the claim, you know, that it's full coverage, buildable. My whole concern is I want to see how well does it hold up, given the fact that I have oily skin. So under the eyes, I'm going to use Tarte Shape Tape in 53S, which is deep sand. I'm just going to buff that out using a tiny beauty sponge. And also I'm going to use a concealer by Juvia's Place. I Am Magic. This is in the shade 9. So I'm pretty much doing my regular foundation routine. even though I have this balm on, just because I want to see, you know, if there's like a major difference, if you have to treat it a certain way, or if you can go, you know, if you could continue your traditional foundation routine and still benefit from using a foundation balm. To set the concealer, I'm going to go back in and use more Beauty Bakerie's Flower Powder. And this is in the shade Almond. And this time I'm going to use a damp beauty sponge. I mean, even if you look now, I don't know how well it's transferring on camera, but it looks more luminous. Not so much matte like they said, a natural matte. Yeah, it looks dewy, and according to the website itself, like not Ulta, not Sephora, but the KVD's vegan beauty website, it states that it does not, or at least it's not supposed to give you like a dewy finish, just more or less a natural finish. So we are gonna see how well it wears throughout the day. I'm gonna do this one as a wear test for not just you guys, but even for myself. So I'm gonna pretty much go about my everyday normal activities. It's warm outside, so I'll probably get outside and run some errands. And then we'll see later on this evening, you know, how well it actually held up. I don't expect it to stay matte. It pretty much already, you know, let me know like this is not a matte, but more or less a natural wearing foundation. And for those of us who have oily complexions, combination complexions, you pretty much already know that when products say like natural wear, get ready for it because your skin is gonna be oily. And I'm just really trying to dig in deep here and you know, apply as much setting powder as I can, because I really want this to be a winner. So I'll just apply a little bit more because I don't want it to start getting textured and become all cakey looking. That wouldn't be a good thing. And for the areas that I put the darker concealer shade on, Fit Me by Maybelline, and it is in the shade dark. I am just going to set those areas. I got on my clothes. Okay. To set everything together like I always do, Too Faced Multi-Purpose Complexion Powder, and it is in the shade Chai. Just going to take my brush and lightly go over pretty much all the areas of my face, including the areas that did not get any setting powder. I'm going to use Mented Cosmetics bronzer, and it is in the shade Yacht Life. And I'm just going to whisk that in certain areas. This is the shade of that bronzer.
Now we're going to set all of this using Urban Decay's All-Nighter Setting Spray. This one actually is for oil. So hopefully this one will help combat any sort of oil breakthrough that may want to occur. And going back in, no additional product, and just helping to pat in the setting powder. Okay guys, so the countdown is about to start now. Let's see what time it is. So the time now is 12:55. See it? Yep. 1255. And I am going to check back in with you guys in a few hours. Let's see how well this holds. The finish right now, it's beautiful. It honestly is. Again, like, you're not seeing any pores, you're not seeing any imperfections, and I did not have to layer it much at all. So the test is in the wear. Okay guys, so I have conducted my wear test. I believe we started at like 12:45. It is now 5:58. My phone never wants to let me be great and let y'all see what time it is. But nevertheless, this is what I look like without blotting, no additional application of any sort of pressed powder, no blotting sheets, nothing. And just to give you guys like a little synopsis of what my day consisted of, the temperature outside right now is about 66 degrees, sunny, pleasant, no clouds in the sky. And I say all of that to say that it does sometimes, the weather, play a factor in how well your makeup holds up, especially if you have oily skin. At a few times throughout the day walking in the sun, I thought that, my face was going to start to perspire or I was going to have some sort of oil to break through. None of those actually happened. The one thing I will say, however, there's a little bit of sheen there, and for the sake of the different layers of oil breakthrough, I'm going to say it's dewy. And I know in the description on the KVD website, they say that this is not a dewy foundation. Well, I will contest that and say maybe for those of us who have a oily or combination complexion, the longer you wear it throughout the day, that you may not have complete oil breakthrough, but you may have some dewiness to show up. And I really don't mind it. It actually looks a little bit more dewy on camera in front of this ring light than it does in person. So with the application as is, and no reapplying of any sort of pressed powder or blotting papers, I could probably continue to wear this for the next maybe 2 or 3 hours with a similar outcome. At this point, I really don't have an issue with this one. I was thinking maybe do the wear test, and if it doesn't wear the way I want, possibly exchange it or take it back. I will hold on to this one. I mean, if nothing for, those random days where I may have some sort of hyperpigmentation to show up, or possibly some blemishes, time of the month sort of thing. I will use this particular foundation for that time, because although it's full coverage, this honestly is one of the full coverage foundations that I have used, one of the few that I have used where my skin still feels like it's breathing, if that makes any sense. You know how you cake on makeup and the foundations and the concealers and the pressed powders, and you know, after so long of wearing them, your face feels heavy or feels congested, like it's smothering. I don't feel that at all. Like, I don't even feel the fact that I'm wearing this makeup on my face. And for me, that's definitely a plus, because although I enjoy my foundations, I enjoy my makeup, at some point throughout the day, I have to kind of force myself to continue on with wearing my makeup, especially if I did it really cute that day, because my face feels so smothered. But I'm not getting that with this one. My face feels very light. It feels honestly as though I really don't have any makeup on. So it's extremely lightweight and full coverage. To me, those are all good things. One thing I was noticing, however, is throughout the afternoon, the more that, you know, like the dewiness started to show up, I put pressed powder from my inner tear duct, outer tear duct, and down, like down in this area here. And what I was noticing is that all up under my eye area is still completely matte. It has no sort of dewiness, no sort of shine to it. And with that, it kind of created two separate textures. So I would just suggest maybe being careful when you apply your pressed powders or your setting powders to your under eye areas, so you don't have that mismatched texture or appearance in your makeup as I do, because under the eye it's still super matte, and then when you get like right here down, now is where you're starting to see, like, you know, the glowy, dewy skin. That I don't really care for. It is not transfer proof. I had to wear a mask when I went outside, and what I was noticing is that there was a little bit of transfer of the foundation onto the mask. It was not a crazy large amount, but nevertheless, there was some transfer of the foundation there. Through all of those, you know, various tests or whatever, it still held up. It's, you know, it's like the longer I'm wearing it, the more it's starting to look natural. It's starting to look like my face with just bomb ass skincare. So thank you guys so much for watching this one. If it helped you out, share the wealth. Definitely feel free to share this video, you know, amongst yourselves, and leave me comments, leave me suggestions, as always, in the comment box below, and I'll definitely try my best to answer them as soon as possible. However, this is never gonna be until we see each other again, or see you later, or goodbye. No, because I am right here in all of these other videos. So I will see you guys in the next video.